Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest video. I'm so excited about this one because I'm taking part in a rainbow creative journaling hop. And this is being organised by Daisy at My Green Cow, and there are 7 of us taking part, and the colour that I'm going to be using in my journals today is indigo. And in the description box below, I'm going to leave a link to the next person. And the aim is that you'll be able to go through each of our 7 videos to get lots of creative, colourful ideas for your own journals. And hopefully you'll find some other creators that you really want to follow along the way. So I really hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to be creating my journal pages inside this A5 dotted notebook from London Gifties. It has really thick paper in it, and I know that it holds up to lots of different supplies. So the first thing that I did when getting ready to film this video was try to find as many supplies as I could that fitted into that indigo colour scheme. And I haven't been too strict on myself, but I have tried to find things that I think will all look hopefully good together on my journal pages. The first thing I'm going to do is add a strip of this gorgeous washi tape to each side. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this is how I very often start off my journal pages. I find it's a really great way to break in that white space and add some instant colour to your journal pages. The washi tape and stamps that I'll be using throughout all come from London Gifties, and I'll try to remember to leave a link to all of the products that I use in the description box down below. I'm now using a Sakura Koi brush pen from the Galaxy range, and I'm going to letter out a quote that says, "There are so many beautiful reasons to be happy." And I'm going to use a couple of different font styles for this, and I really wanted to use my journal pages to reflect on all of the little things that are making me really happy at the moment. Royal Talons sent me these pens to try out some time ago now, and they're definitely one of my favourites. They're nice and thick and juicy, and they come in such gorgeous colours. I'm now going to use a Sakura Pigma Micron pen to add some outlining to the word happy. To finish off the word happy, I also use a white Uniball Signo gel pen to add some highlights to the top of the letters. I wasn't sure in the beginning if I'd find it really limiting trying to stick to just one main colour on my pages, but actually once I'd got all of my supplies together, I really enjoyed the fact that I could just keep my pages reasonably simple. I didn't have to overthink things about what I wanted to use, so I definitely recommend giving it a go. I'm now mixing up some watercolour paint in an indigo-ish colour, and I'm using a paintbrush from Escoda. And I'm going to add some floral designs in the bottom left-hand corner and the top right, along with some indigo leaves, because why not? I love adding floral designs to just about all of my journal pages, and because I wanted these to have a really joyous, happy feel, I thought it definitely had to have lots of flowers on there. And as always, I try to balance out my journal pages as much as I can by adding similar designs to both pages. I'm now using some of that leftover paint to add some splashes to both pages. I'm now going to add some detailing inside the leaves and some small dots in the centre of the flower. And I will later come back and add some extra detailing onto the flower petals as well. When I'm doing creative journal pages, I often come back to bits that I think I'd already finished. And I just like to leave things a little while, look at them again, and then come back later and add more details if I want to. Next, I'm going to use some of this gorgeous, really wide washi tape from London Gifties, and I'm going to tear it in half all the way along the middle, and then add a strip to the bottom of my right hand page and also to the top of the left. And I absolutely loved the designs of this and thought that it would fit in perfectly with the theme of my pages. Recently, my mum gave me some really old music books, unfortunately gave me permission to tear them up, and I decided I'd really like to add a piece of this music paper onto my journal. I'm now just tearing that piece of music paper down to the size that I want, and I'm going to use some Pritt Stick to glue it down. I wanted it to be quite a big, bold piece to kind of try and balance out the quote on the left-hand page. For some extra decoration, I then decided to cut some images out of floral washi tape and put these on top of the music paper. So I cut out the images that I felt tied in with the colour scheme, and then any of the extra flowers I immediately stuck into my junk journal. I really love these washi tapes that have individual designs on them, because not only are they beautiful to use as tapes, but they're just so handy to be able to cut out the elements that you want and use them as stickers in your journal. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to that lettering that I thought I'd finished. I decided that I wanted the word beautiful to stand out a little more, So I'm adding some black lines at the bottom and on the right hand side of each of the thick strokes on the lettering. For my next bit of decorating, I'm going to use some black StazOn ink and some wooden block stamps. And one of the things I always try to bear in mind when I'm creating my journal pages is adding lots of beautiful decorations, but also making sure that I'm going to have plenty of space for adding all of my writing, because I tend to be the type of person that has lots that I want to write about. So I'm going to add one stamped image on the left and another one on the right hand page. I decided that I wanted to add the black stamping because I know that I'm going to be using a black pen when I add my writing, and I felt that that would help to tie everything together. I'm now going to use my white Uniball Signo gel pen again, and I'm going to add some little white dashes all the way around the circular stamped image. I really enjoy adding little doodles or dots and just changing ever so slightly the appearance of some stamping. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a dashed border both above and below my quote. And that's because I wanted to make sure that it still stood out on my page and didn't get lost when I added my journal writing. So I'm just adding dashes where each of the dots are on my page. I also thought it would be nice to add some little doodle images inside that quote box. So I'm just drawing some really simple kind of leaf shapes, and I think that really helped the quote to stand out as a feature. It was at this point that I also decided I wanted to add a little bit more detail to those watercolour flowers. So I'm just going to add 3 simple lines at the end of each of the petals. I really enjoy the process of just taking my time, looking at my journal pages, and then adding a few more details as I go. I'm now going to use a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with a firm nib to letter in the date of March 21. For my journal writing, I'm using a black Muji gel pen, and I'm writing about all of the things that make me happy. As we're moving into the springtime here, it's one of my favourite times of the year because I just love seeing all of the changes in nature and my garden, and the sunshine always makes me feel so much better and encourages me to get outside more. So those are some of the things that I'm writing about on these journal pages. I also decided to add a second line of dashes on my quote because I again felt that it was just getting a little bit lost, and that helped it to stand out. I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing my indigo colour themed journal page, and I want to say a huge thank you to Daisy at My Green Cow for inviting me to participate. And don't forget to look in my description box down below to find the next participant so that you can complete the video hop and go to each of the channels to see what kind of pages they've created in their own colour. I know I can't wait to take a look. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, it would be great if you leave it with a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you consider subscribing. If you've got any questions or comments, then please do leave them down below. And as always, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's supporting me over on Patreon. Thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.